you want to watch more awesome videos? We know you do. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, turn on that notification bell so that you're notified every time we post new videos here at Underground Interviews.
Hey, what is up, Underground Squad? Hey, what's up, chat? Already got some people in here. Ben Calloway, Caleb White. How's it going, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Obviously, I need no introduction, but this guy next to me, you may not know him, Austin Turner. He's going to be with us here for this, what I would call a really exciting recap that I think Wes is going to be jealous that he's not here to be able to do. What do you think, Austin?
I mean, you know, he's out throwing some gutter balls at the bowling alley right now, so he's not going to be missing out on much. But you know, I think we'll be able to fill in for him pretty well.
Okay, well, let's jump right in. Let's go to FPO. That's where we're going to start it out at, and then we'll head into, I'm sure, all the action that you guys are really wanting to hear about. Vanessa Van Dyken, she dropped one spot. And she still managed to finish in 5th, which is definitely a respectable finish. She's just, every week, she's just in the mix, always in the mix. So she's getting herself really close to snagging a win. Wouldn't you think, Austin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but as we've seen, she's getting more and more, she's knowing her bag more, so it's only going to be a couple more weeks or even, you know, a couple more days until she figures everything out and she's going to get that #1 spot. So really excited to see how she does going on with the rest of the year.
Yep, I am too. We actually had her on a couple recaps ago, and she was really, really excited and pumped up, and it's awesome to see that kind of enthusiasm, and we know she's going to go far. So, kind of moving on to Courtney Cannon with her 18th place finish. I know Meredith was another one that we were keeping an eye out on, and then Allison getting her name up there as well. So that's pretty exciting. All of our Discraft girls out there, our women out there really trying to put in the work out here on tour, so it's exciting to see more and more names in the mix that are representing Discraft. That's not something that we've had really, other than I feel like we've had a couple throughout the years, and then we had Val who really kind of promoted it, and then when she stepped back a little bit, we haven't had a lot of people fill that role, so it's exciting to see them jump in there.
Yeah, our women's field's definitely growing, and hopefully, you know, we'll see all of them play pretty well, and, you know, maybe get a nice little sweep soon.
Awesome. I'm going to head back over to chat. Looks like we've got Trevor here, too. This is where all the pros come to hang out to see if we're going to talk about him, what we're going to say, good things or bad things.
Especially we're probably not going to be talking about Trevor today, so he can just go ahead and leave if he wants.
He's going to smack you. I'm going to record it, too, at some event. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button if you can do that for me. Give the video a share. We'll get some more people in here. And we'll move on to MPO here. And I guess we just might as well talk about it. Let's talk about Paul.
Ooh, boy. So, Paul Macbeth, first Discraft win. Let's talk about that. first Discraft win. You know, he's feeling good. He averaged 1072 on the weekend. Huge weekend for him. As we see, a minus 43 overall. He would beat Ricky by 3 strokes. And, yeah, he shot minus 15, which is, you know, once again, a really good round out there. I think he went, 10, 18, 15. So a pretty solid weekend for Paul. That last round, he was only 86% circle one. Not the best, but, you know, he got the job done at the end. And
did you have any doubts on 18? On 18, when he came up to that hole, did you have any doubts that he wasn't going to be in circle one?
No.
I didn't either.
If anything, maybe like 5 feet outside the circle. But, you know, Paul, when it comes down to clutch time, he'll get that done. So
it's just another great drive again. We're going to head back over to chat. Nobody's talking to us. I just, if you guys have any questions for me, have any questions for Austin, any questions about the show or any thoughts about the tournament, throw them out there, guys. We'll kind of chat with you about some stuff. We're going to go through Paul's round at about hole 9. We'll swing back over here, so we'll give you a little bit of time to throw those out there. It's just another great drive again. All right. Too many screens going on here. So did you watch the round, Austin? I was watching bits and pieces. I know I golfed for a little bit and missed the first few holes.
I didn't actually because I was flying all day. I think once I got home, they were on like hole 13, and then immediately went to sleep. And I woke up and I looked on Facebook and I saw Paul won. I'm like, oh, it's over. All right.
Yeah, it was a pretty exciting round, and it definitely had some ups and downs. And you know what? I think that disc golf fans really got what they wanted to see out of the final round at Waco, and they got to see that battle of Ricky versus Paul in a Discraft. Like, we're only a couple tournaments into the season, and we're getting to see that already. And it was exciting to watch, just shot after shot after shot, especially them matching each other just hole after hole. It was, I don't know, to me, like, that's the golf, and that's what excels the game and makes these other players push up, because Paul and Ricky played their own tournament this weekend.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's great to see, you know, other names playing for that first spot, but nothing brings back great memories than watching a good old battle from Paul and Rick.
Ben says only a doubter would have doubted that, and he definitely wants to say hi to Austin.
Hello, Ben. He actually has my force. I do owe him a hat though, so that's the only problem I have with Ben right now.
Oh.
I don't really call it a problem. We just don't communicate about it, so he could have my force for whoever knows how long.
Can I have that force?
I mean, it's a nice looking force. You can have it if you want.
Ben, remember that. I can have that force. Austin, can I have that hat?
I mean,
that you were going to give Ben? Or should I have to ask Ben that? Ben, can I have that hat?
I mean, it's one of these nice little AT hats that I still have like 25 of them of.
Oh. Would I have to wear
it? If you're looking for a new hat, I might have some for you. You might look pretty good. You might shoot well. If you don't shoot well, you're still going to look great.
Ben says nope. That's all his. That makes me sad. And no, he's using that force as collateral, so I'm not gonna get it either. I get nothing out of this whole ordeal.
I'll send you one.
I don't need a hat. If you want to give a hat away to somebody, by all means, I wouldn't care about that. You're not sending one. You're not sending one to me. Moving on with. Do you want to? I mean, I don't think we even need to go in depth with Paul's round. Everybody watched it. Everybody's seen the battle. If you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it. Where can I get that jawbreaker wasp that Paul was throwing? # sold out. Was that white disc I think he was throwing that had
Yeah. If you ever saw him throw a white disc that was pretty unstable, pretty sure that was the jawbreaker wasp.
Yeah, I didn't see him really throwing. I feel like he was throwing that in a lot of spots where you would have seen him throw like an unstable putter before, right. And he was throwing that.
I heard that he hasn't found like the perfect unstable putter yet. So he's kind of using that wasp right now to kind of balance things out for his putter and his mid-range. Yeah, the mid range might go a little too far, or it's a little too fast. But I mean, he used it really well this weekend in the woods. So props to him. If he wants to keep using it, keep using it. But hopefully he can find that nice putter to get in the mix.
So he can be parking holes a little bit easier, a little more finesse. Just
Right.
make putting easier. Although, like you said, his putting was really solid. So as far as finding yourself one, probably Discraft all day. Maybe throw a post up there and see if somebody's got one. That would be my best guess.
Yeah, I think it's one of the Ledgestone ones that actually came out last year. So if you find those, you might want to stock up on them.
Okay, let's move on to obviously the other Paul, because they decided they both wanted to shine at the same tournament.
Yeah, Yuli had a great tournament. As we said after the second round, he hasn't really had a great tournament yet, and this one just kind of gives him that nice confidence boost that he needed. He shot a -9 last round, 1024 rated. Not too bad. I know it's not what he was looking for at the end, but still averaged 1050 for the weekend, which is a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, he was throwing that Raptor a lot.
Oh yeah, he loves the Raptor. There's a reason why his name's on it. He did have 3 bogeys the last round. Could have shot 12 under, but still finished in 5th place, which is a really, really good showing for him.
Yeah, his whole 15 where he went out of bounds, that really, really surprised me, because Paul had just thrown and everybody had thought Paul had maybe went out of bounds. So that was kind of, I don't know, maybe fresh on his mind or something, and then he just I don't know, hung it right out of bounds.
What did you do, throw a sidearm off the tee?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was just early release and right away. It was like out of his hand. It was obvious. Kind of made me sad. But still, I mean, nonetheless, it didn't change a ton. He came right back and went birdie, birdie, birdie. So
yeah, that's still good way to finish. He did have 88% circle one putting. Missing maybe 1 or 2 putts. So pretty good solid round for Yuli. And nice 5th place.
Yeah, his putt on I don't remember which hole it was. Whatever one this one was here, he was kind of elevated on that one and kind of down in a hill. It was a little obstructed.
Elevate?
Yeah, he was like down in a hill, still in circle like 1-ish, and it was really kind of obstructed. And he still gave it a good bid. I thought he was going to make it. Do you like my wording here? Elevated down in a hillish.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture what hole it is, but I can't really tell, because all of them seem to be like kind of elevated on a hill.
Well, he went deep with the green and then kind of into this like wooded shul stuff. We call it shul in the Midwest. Do you guys call it shul?
No, we just
Have you ever heard shul ever?
We just call it woods, because all of our courses are in the woods.
Okay. Do you guys chat? Do you guys call it shul? Do you guys just call it woods? I think it's just an Iowa thing.
Call it shuli.
Okay.
Movies on the shuli.
Wes is gonna kill us for not staying on topic here. All right, Adam. -11 that last round. It seemed like he figured things out and did well in rounds 2 and round 3. And I think if he would have actually put up something good in round 1, we would have seen him right up here in the mix.
Right, yeah. He actually, could have shot a little better that last round. Only 83% inside circle 1. So there were maybe a couple more birdies he could have picked up. He did have 1 bogey. The bright side was he had 75% circle 2. So he had a big day outside the circle. And with the eagle on 18 to finish. Up 6 spots, so a nice tie for 13th tournament, and 1039 rated last round.
Yeah,
so,
he's a name we're seeing up there.
Adam's doing some big things this year. We see him one wintertime. He played well at Vegas, played well at Memorial. So I think Adam's going to be a name to watch for the rest of the year for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Along with Tim putting up a great score himself, and I believe that we see the ace in there. I remember seeing that come across Facebook, and I was really excited for him.
Oh yeah, he got an ace on hole 8. right around, I think, 220, I believe it is, but it's a tricky green. He aced it with a zone, a nice little flick zone in the basket.
How many aces have there been on tour this year? Is it just the two from Barham and Presnell?
I'm
trying to think if I remember hearing of any other ones.
Discraft wise, I believe, yeah, that's it. There was one other ace on hole 8 by Alex Russell, the same round.
Mm-hmm.
But
yep. Now that you mentioned that, I did hear that. But that's exciting.
But yeah, Tim shot at -11, just one shy of my -12 that I predicted out of him. He did shoot a 10.39 raid last round, and he, as well as Adam, jumped 6 spots to tie for 13th, and Tim was also 100% inside circle 1. So I mean, we know Tim Barham, we know his putt. He's a really good putter, so it doesn't surprise me that he's 100%. He got 50% in circle 2, not too bad from there. And he had 2 bogeys, so that -11, could have been a 13 or even a 14.
Yeah, absolutely. On to Andrew Presnell. So earlier this year in an interview, Wes said that this was going to be a name that you probably hadn't heard of, but you were going to hear a lot of throughout the season. And so far, he has been absolutely right.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Andrew, as well, tied for 13th, so we had 3 guys tied for 13th. He did shoot a -9, 5 worse than that -14 he pulled off the day before. But 9 down, still a pretty nice round. He did have 2 bogeys though, so he could have got those double-digit rounds. I did see a post that he said his putting felt the best this weekend that it had in a long time, and that shows being 100% that last round inside the circle.
I would agree with that. And what's cool is I've actually, besides Ben, of course, I've probably been in contact with Andrew more than any other Discraft person. Well, maybe you now that we're doing this. You don't count. You're like family at this point. But I've been in contact with him more than any other person, and he's like really excited. So come Rumble time, he's like, "Hey, can we get together and let's film some footage with this. Let's do this, and let's get around in." So it's gonna be pretty cool to be able to like hang out with him and get to know him a little bit better.
Yeah, the first time I think I met him, he's always a good soul. He's always happy. He's pretty quiet. Doesn't have really too much to say unless you start getting to know him. But once you do, he's a really nice guy. I think the thing that really pulled me into him was that he drove a Challenger. I'm like, yeah, this guy's pretty cool.
And they're not talking about throwing putters at that point. Austin's a typical car guy. Reed, so a lefty here. We're gonna move on to the lefties, which were actually performing pretty decent earlier on in the tournament. But Reed coming out with 9 under, and it looks like he stayed exactly in the same spot that he was in the day before.
Right. Yeah, he did have 1 bogey that last round. Not too bad, but the only hiccup I think that there was 71% inside circle 1. We saw him the day before, 100% inside circle 1. So a couple little hiccups here and there, and he could have had a really good round to get that top 20 spot.
We're gonna head back over to chat here real quick. I haven't checked in with them in a while. Dylan Smith says the last tournament there was an ace as well, and yep, you were right. Ben commented it was Alex Russell, not Nebraska. Jeremy Stewart, hey everyone, hey, what's up, Jeremy? Nice to hear about Tim getting an ace at Waco. Yeah, for sure. I think everybody was stoked about that one when we seen it on Facebook, which was probably about a minute after it happened. We were kind of feeling it with him. Ben wants to know if he can get in on that round, and Trevor wants to know if he can get on that round as well. I'm sure that we can maybe make that happen. But yeah, for sure, hit me up when you guys are here for the Rumble. It'll be a good time. I'm definitely gonna be out at Westlake for quite a bit of stuff. You're not gonna be here for the Rumble, are you, Austin? You're not cool enough to travel here.
Well, I think I might only travel to a couple of tournaments. I won't play them. I might go to the Masters Cup, Worlds, GMC, D-Glow, stuff like that.
Okay, yep, and that's kind of what I figured. So I didn't know if you were gonna kind of maybe before you were heading to Great Lakes Open, hit that little swing.
Yeah, I'm just chilling until then.
Ben's like, I'm here now. Ben, you're not part of my practice routine. I'm focused right now.
Ben's playing glow right now.
Is he? Okay. Max Nichols we were moving on. Another lefty. So he was actually, I think he was like in top 10 our first day, and then he kind of fell off during round 2. But round 3 he bounced right back and put up very respectable 9 under.
Right. Yeah. He did get that top 25 spot. He was 80% inside circle 1. So again, a couple of hiccups here and there. Could have had a pretty good round, but -9, so nothing to be ashamed about. And he did finish with a 10-24 rated round, so top 25 for our guys. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 7 guys in top 25 at this tournament, so a really good showing by our guys.
And Max went bogey free that round, which was pretty nice to see. Was he one of our? I think everybody else, other than Paul McBee.
I think the Saturday's round was the calmest of the 3 rounds. The wind was a little low, so it was a little easier score. But you can still get into a lot of trouble out there. So, Max, good job with your bogey free round.
Yep, and I know probably not the finish that he was looking for as we go to the next person, but I want you to look at that round that Austin Hannum put up right there.
I think I called that one for the biggest comeback.
I think you did. Man, I hate it when you're right on stuff. We're gonna need to find a new co-host for this show that's wrong about stuff.
Yeah, so Austin came in with that -14 round, just one round shy of. Hang on.
Yep, we're losing your video there.
There we go. Yeah, he was just one shot shy of tying the hot round for Saturday's round. 1062 rated, really good showing from him. He jumped up 22 spots, which is really awesome. Tied for 36, not his best showing, definitely not what he wanted, but ending with a 14 under round is definitely something to be happy about. And he did finish with the eagle on 18 as well. We are seeing a lot of our guys finishing with the eagle, and that's a really good thing to have. I'm sure they're all throwing that force again. I know Macbeth's throwing it. I'm sure Austin's throwing it. A lot of our guys will be throwing the force on 18.
So you've been on that hole and you've been there before. Talk to us about what kind of confidence it takes and what kind of trust it takes to throw a 492-foot shot where you have to carry water the great majority of that. I mean, that's...
It's definitely one of the scariest finishing holes just because you don't know what's going to happen. You could slip on the tee. You could have a big headwind that just pushes your disc down into the water. You could go OB anywhere, really. OB short, left, right, long. There's just so many things to put on that hole, plus the wind. So it's hard. It's not terribly hard to focus in, but there's a lot of things that could go wrong. But hopefully, you're channeling everything out. You're throwing your shot. For us lefties, it's a little harder just because we have to push over the water the entire way. So my nerves when I get on that hole, my heart's pumping out of my chest. I'm like, all right, got to finish this hole and not throw in the water. Get it at least a 3. Finish with a 3. But yeah, it's definitely one of the most scenic holes that we have to finish on, and to get a 2 is definitely a good feat.
So how many forces of yours are in that water?
Surprisingly 0.
So what disc do you throw there then? If you don't throw a force, if you're not throwing a force there, what disc are you throwing in the water there? Nukes, cranks. I'm probably trying the Simonals off putter line. Throwing a roach out there as hard as I can, landing about in the middle of the water. No, I'm sure you do throw a force there. One of your Austin Turner ones.
Yeah, either that or a pink pop top Z Force. I've never 2'd it though in tournament. only 3'd it.
Do you actually go for it at all? Have you
Oh yeah. I went for it every time last year. I just never got close. I always bailed out right, just because I got too scared of the wind. I just wanted to play it safe on the right side and then pitch up for my 3.
It's easy to do on holes like that. Even on short holes where you're going over water, it's easy to just come up short and short them. So
right.
Yep. Back to chat here. How many holes did Macbeth throw a Kong at Waco? Did you watch any coverage at all to see what?
I watched the majority of the second round. I'm really not sure what holes he threw it on. I think he maybe threw it on hole 2 off the drive. But I think for the most part, what I was watching is that he was throwing his forces a lot. I know 18 he was throwing a force, 15 he's throwing a force, 16 he's throwing a force, 17 he's probably throwing a force. So a lot of those holes he's throwing a force on. Maybe here and there he pull out a Kong, but his Kongs kind of look like his forces in a way, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, if you actually, he put up a video with Jomez about his round, his 18 under round, and he actually goes in, he's doing the commentary along with Nate Sexton, which was pretty surprising and actually exciting at the same time. And actually he talks a little bit about it, and he says that his Kongs are not going as far as what his forces are going right now.
Really?
And I'm guessing that's why he's throwing the forces that he's throwing.
Well, yeah, and I mean, especially being in Texas too, with all that wind, you know, the Kong is a little more unstable than a force. If you guys haven't thrown one yet, so a force would be a good, reliable disc in that wind. So I'm sure that was what he was going for 90% of the time.
Yeah, especially you can't really see it on the camera coverage. Even on great quality camera coverage, it's hard to see the wind, let alone the coverage we were watching. So yeah, that would be a big factor in that too, is going to those forces. Because the times that I've thrown the Kong, it's definitely not seemed like a disc that I've wanted to trust into a headwind too well, especially for control. But maybe for like max distance, maybe I'd give it a rip, but just for control, not too much.
Yeah, and the force is definitely one of the most controllable, one of the most. To me, it's the disc I can trust the most in my bag.
Oh, the ESP ones are just so good now. I'm actually, like, after like my field work today and the round that I put in today, I may be taking nukes out of my bag just because they're only going about 15 to 20 feet further than what my forces are. But my forces, like, I'm hitting the flags that I'm putting out there like consistently when I'm doing field work. So it just seems like it's better to give up that 15 to 20 feet to know where I'm going to land.
Absolutely.
And not risk, you know, the nuke getting a little squirrely and off to the right and being way over there. Because that's not going to happen with the force, really.
Unless you find the right ones, you know, nice, understable ones.
Yeah, eventually these ESPs will beat into there. We have to talk about Chandler Fry before we go as well. Just because Wes really likes Chandler Fry. And he added me on Facebook, so you guys can expect that interview is going to be happening at some point. Me and Wes are going to get it scheduled, and I heard that he is like a really fun person. Have you met him?
Oh yeah, I've played a couple rounds with him. Anytime I play with him, I've never seen him miss a putt. He is literally one of the best putters I've ever seen. He is so good. His driving is amazing. His upshot game is great. He's an overall really good player, and I'm really happy that he's on our team for this year.
Yeah, and he's going through and learning some of the discs, and it's going to be exciting to see his game progress throughout the year as well. Honorable mentions, we go Brian, Trevor, Corey. I'm sure you guys wanted to do better than where you were at, but you guys are going to keep on chugging along. Trev's in chat here. Always one of my favorite ones to see, especially when you make it on film. Anything you want to say before we take off here, Austin?
Hit that like button, you know. Subscribe to the channel.
See, you're getting good at this. Before too long, I won't even need to be on here anymore. So yeah, hit that like button.
Subscribe to Discraft.
Really helps us when you guys do things like subscribe, comment. All those things are awesome. Obviously, keep throwing Discraft. We're going to be getting, like I said, we're going to be getting some interviews up soon. We're going to get some more giveaways for you guys. Ben's talking a little bit more about the Kong here. They're both speed 12, so very, very similar. I agree. I feel like it's more Punisher-ish than Force-ish for me, though, almost. When I'm looking at spots in my bag.
I agree with your comment earlier. It'll be a great disc. It'll be a great disc for any amateur who doesn't have the power for the Force. To get it to go out and get a nice anhyzer, get a full flex. The Kong would be a little more easier to push out turnover, get some distance. So you guys are gonna love that one a lot.
And one thing that I've heard too, I even heard Ben mention it, is that you almost need to get the Kong. He says you got to get the Kong up to speed. You need to make sure that you get the power, and even though it's going to have that understable flip, you still need to get that hit onto it and trust it. Maybe that's my problem. I'm just not strong enough to give it that good, super strong pull.
Right.
My noodle arms.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in my bag. Once I come back and able to throw again. I really loved it out at Vegas. There wasn't too much wind, so I was able to get it a nice, good flight. They all flipped up, turned over, and went pretty far for me.
Yep. So the Kong's not one that I'm digging, but I've been digging the Raptor. I actually ordered 2 of the ESP Yuli ones the other day. I'm pretty excited about getting those in.
Those look so sick.
Yeah, I'm going to put them in the bag. I know some people are getting them to collect them or whatever. No, I'm throwing them. I actually ordered them so I could get some time to practice with them before the Rumble and do that. So, all right, guys. Yep, you guys are right. Make that putt. We're not going to forget about that. Make that putt. You guys have been awesome with the submissions. We've been getting quite a few of them in. We're going to get those into some of our videos and our interviews that are coming up. So, thanks for that. All right, guys. Peace.